What's up, Scott Balcom here with Imagination Creation Films, and today we are talking about these, the Quasar Science Rainbow 2 and Double Rainbows. Double Rainbows.
This is about full color. It's about full spectrum. It's about brightness. Never again will you have to cope with limitations. No, this isn't about some set of speakers. It's about the RGBX Rainbow 2 tube lights from Quasar Science. Because light is science, but mostly photons.
So we've all seen Quasar tube lights in the past, and well, we've probably used them in some form or fashion, and for good reason. They work. Now, they've had some limitations in the past, but Quasar keeps improving them. The rainbows, well, they've been out for quite a while, and now they have the Quasar Rainbow 2s and, well, the double rainbows, and, well, they've been out for a bit too, but it's time to seriously take a look at the Rainbow 2s and the double rainbows and see where they hit today. Full disclosure, I asked Quasar if I could review the new Rainbow 2s after checking them out at Cinegear, and they sent me a demo set with one of each light in it and all their new mounting hardware. And as per usual on my channel, Quasar Science has no input on this review whatsoever, and these are a demo set, so I have to send them back when I'm done. Now, what exactly are the Rainbow 2s? Well, they're RGBX tube lights, and RGBX is RGBWW, but it sounds a little cooler though, right? Now, these lights have pixels, and more pixels, and have even more control now. There are a total of 5 lights in this family. I have 4 of them right here. There's the Q25R, a 2-foot Rainbow 2, a 25 watt, 10 pixel, under 2 pound problem solver. The Q50R2, a 50 watt, 24 pixel, just over 3 pounds, 4-foot tube. And the Q100R2, 100 watt, 48 pixel, just under 6 pounds, 8-foot tube. Just imagine 2 of the 4-foot tubes in a very long package. Then we go to the double rainbows. There is a RR50, which has 20 pixels, 50 watt power consumption, and is just over 3 pounds. 2-foot long, fat tube. That's what I'm calling them, fat tubes. And the RR100, a 48 pixel, 100 watt, under 6 pounds, 4-foot long fat tube. Did Seals name these? No, just kidding. I'm assuming RR stands for Rainbow? Double rainbow? I don't know. Now, we got the specs out of the way. There's a ton of people out there who've measured the output and the color fidelity, so I'm not going to dive into that here. I'm going to go into real-world usage and functionality. And right off the bat, functionality is where their new Osseum mounting hardware comes in. An example, remember these? Yeah, I made these to mount my Quasars for years, but Quasar said, we have a better solution now, a much better solution. And they're right. They installed a track on the back of the light, and it gives you some serious flexible options. You can slide a baby pin right onto the rail, moving it to the exact location you want, then blocking it off. You can take the baby pin off the slide and mount it directly to the rail if you want to. They also have these new G-Force grips, which you can bolt directly to the rail, and then you can grip a baby pin or a grip arm in, well, almost any angle. They also have magnet mounts that you can just screw on and mount anywhere. Anywhere there's ferrous metal. Hey, can you mount one of those to a C-stand real quick? Yeah, like that. Connectivity options are pretty vast with SACN, ArtNet, and DMX via wired connectivity, and WDMX, CRMX over Wi-Fi, and SACN and ArtNet over Bluetooth. External power options are 10 to 26 volts DC input, which, by the way, you can mount a V-mount battery to the Osseum plate for a standalone solution. A standard twist lock AC power cable is, well, included for people that like their power delivery via an oscillating sine wave. That's AC power if you didn't know, by the way. Functionality, these lights are better than ever. Really bright, very nice color. Subjectively, though, I would say that they aren't the best looking white out there, but they're pretty close. And as soon as you add a little color, you'd forget I even mentioned it. Having a useful white color range is pretty nice, and having a useful white color range with RGB, beautiful. They've added some new dimming options with low output, normal output, and high output mode, which low output will shift the output by about 2 stops down. This allows you to fine-tune low brightness levels where, as before, 1% ended up being a massive jump when you were asking for just a tiny little change. Now you can dim in very fine increments, like 0.1% at a time, all while mixing colors accurately to the desired output color. Now, this was something I noticed right off the bat and, well, used constantly. Sometimes you just want a tiny amount of light to make the difference, and, well, this really helps and keeps you from, well, having to settle on a look just because you couldn't get there. Quasar now has new color shifting compensation, so when you add or subtract green, Quasar adapts the output to maintain an accurate color temperature. If you just added green without compensating, you'd shift the color tip. So this is a little tweak that, well, we can all appreciate and will like too. The pixels come into play with the built-in lighting effects, where you get 3 dimensions of an effect now, not just on and off or red then blue. To truly utilize the pixel, you need to use a good DMX-based app, which I don't currently use here, so I can't demo that part other than the built-in effects. Fire effects. It's pretty, huh? Now, they've been doing a lot to improve these lights, and it clearly shows. I like to use my lights not in the, hey, let's throw them in the background to make it look all sci-fi way that, well, so many do. Although you can, and people still will. I use them as very large soft lights that can also add streaks of color or add white to, well, product shots. One of my favorite things. Just briefly looking at the product shot I did at the beginning, I was using all 4 of the rainbow 2s and the double rainbow lights in that shot, using the long tubes to either produce a cyan color bar or a streak across the product or the table, and then I used one of the lights to throw orange onto the gray seamless in the background to separate the product from the background. Then I used either the 2-foot or the 4-foot double rainbow at 5600 Kelvin, firing into an ultra bounce to create a nice white soft light to, well, light up the product. They really just work well and will allow you to get the lights right up, out of frame, just slightly, and without casting a shadow. And to me, this is where these lights really come in handy. Being able to put a bright light in a place that would have been difficult before. That's the power of a tube light, and, well, we've all come to love them for those reasons. Now with the Quasar Rainbow 2s, and more specifically, the double rainbows, it's a ton of light in a place that's been difficult before. And that's what made me smile most with these lights. They worked really well. So what are the pros and cons of these lights? Well, pros. They have blackout buttons now on the control panel to instantly black them out. No longer will you struggle with seeing rainbow tubes everywhere in your eyes after you've adjusted your lights because they just kind of burned in your eyes. Just black out, adjust your settings, and then turn it back on, use the sound effect, and hello? Wonderful, your eyes will thank you for it. Another pro, it's a really bright, compact package. Another pro, they're extremely durable. I've had Quasars for a long time, and if you mess one up, you gotta be doing that on purpose. They're really built well. Another pro, the new Osseum mounting is, well, it's seriously good, and it makes me want to abandon my homemade solutions. Yeah, I'm cheap, but I'm also practical. Cons, these get hot, like really hot. When you leave them on for full bright, be careful grabbing the heatsink. It's pretty hot and pretty uncomfortable. Now, I did find a good use for the heat, though. The shape of the Rainbow 2s are perfect. No, seriously, don't do that at all, but respect that heat. I don't want to see Quasar tacos on set. Well, not without an invite. These lights are a little pricey, but their output is unmatched, so you get what you pay for. There's no free app to easily control these lights either, so You need to use one of the wired or wireless networking features to connect to a big app at an additional cost to control them all as a group. Keep that in mind. Lastly, just pull the rubber boots off. They're cute, but they just slow you down and they get in the way a lot. Just toss them in your case with that silica gel pack that you never threw away and, just don't drop your lights. So what do you think of these lights? I was seriously impressed at Cinegear, and I was really impressed when I got them here in a controlled environment and put them to the test. Let me know in the comments what you think of these lights. Also, remember you can support the channel in so many ways down below. Become a channel member. I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions.